My name is Mikhail Guzman. You are witnessing history. No, I'm just kidding. Coming to the stage with my beer, I hope, is a wonderful artist that I met when I arrived back in Austin in 2005 or so. We're here at Red Eye Fly, where she has done a mural that is very lovely, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Did I already say your name? Her name is Linda Wandt, with a D. Linda. Yeah.
Waiting on the beer.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk some more while I wait on this beer. It's very important that I have this beer for the show. It's written in my notes as part of something funny we're going to do. That's a lie. I'm just talking to fill up time. Waiting on that beer. This show was, that's all right, we got time, because anyway, I need to mention, like, this was supposed to be a 2-hour show, but this is my first time doing it here, so we were setting everything up, trying to figure things out, and we're running a bit behind. You can't tell because you're watching this video in the future where I'm dead, most likely. But yeah, not gonna be 2 hours. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Wandt. So, yes, you do. You have to talk right into it and talk loudly as well.
Okay.
All right. Do your best. I think you'll be able to handle it.
Nervous.
Don't be nervous, because I know I told you that I wanted to talk about the paintings and how your painting inspired me. But what we're really here for is an intervention. My friend Olive, she's been doing way too much drinking, and I'm concerned about her. So there's a reason why she's the only person in attendance. Olive?
Yes.
You're gonna get through this.
Okay.
Do your best, all right?
We're here for you.
Yes.
I just met you, but I can tell that we can be here for you.
Did you notice that alcoholic glaze in her eye?
We were just talking about how she does not drink.
To your sobriety.
To your sobriety.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
So, I wanted to start off with this. I want to hear the other side of this story, because I've lived this side of the story. Hopefully you remember, because I do not. How did we come to meet?
Oh.
See? I was worried about that.
That's how did we meet? Excellent question. It was a while ago. Back when there was much bar hanging out in.
Yeah.
And
Maybe it was
I'm
at
literally
Elysium.
trying to think of who introduced us, or it was very likely at Elysium.
I'm thinking it might have been Rich.
Sorry.
It probably was, right? It has to.
It was an Elysium.
That makes sense. Was
Yeah.
that Elysium?
Yeah.
It was. You remember this story?
No.
There's no backstory. Apparently we never met. We just are
We just
somehow
all of a sudden
Yeah.
we're buddies.
Right.
We just all just
happened. It happened.
You know, I think a lot of friendships happen that way.
Because I'm trying to think of how I came to know about your first gallery show at school that you had.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think back to how did I even find out about that? We must have been friends for her.
We must have talked
Yeah.
and been having conversations.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, I've always been very vocal about what I'm doing and shamelessly promoting
Yeah.
all along the way.
It was very cool because you're pulling it off. You're fucking doing it. I remember back then, you were still in school, and you're like, yeah, man, I'm a painter. I'm doing this. I paint. I'm like, she ain't gonna make no fucking living. Nobody manages to do that around here. It's so you did it. And this is
Sort of.
sort of, okay.
Close. I
Yeah.
mean, it's getting closer and closer. It's taken me 10 years, but I am getting very, very close.
Yeah, it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Almost, yeah.
10 years and well, I'm getting to look older, You look great.
Thank you. Somebody yesterday that I don't know very well just like walked past me. I was at a friend's wedding, and he just stopped and he looked at me, and he was like, "I like that you're not dyeing your hair."
Oh, I like that too. I'm glad he said that. Me too.
Yeah, he was like, "I'm glad that you're not dyeing your hair. That looks good."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Thank you."
Yeah. And I'm glad you stopped wearing those fucking wigs. Jesus.
No, I'm dealing with the gray like shaving the sides of my head.
I got you. I'm starting to get the grays here. I'm not really seeing them up here yet. So I'm wondering if I'll go gray or bald. Which one will happen first?
Should we start a pool?
Yeah.
Should we go to bed? Do you
Yeah.
guys want in on this?
Yeah.
I'll hop in on it.
You want in on that?
Where are you going? You going bald or gray?
Salt and pepper.
Salt and pepper? Olive, bald or gray?
Great.
Gray? Put that drink down.
It's like
Control
you're
your...
starting to drink already. We've only been here for
I know.
half an hour.
It's too early, I know.
It's too early not to drink.
I don't want to judge you, but I am.
Yeah. I've been drinking.
Okay. I got to this gallery thing. It was maybe like 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
I was working on an album at the time. CP5 Orchestra, Our Family in Ashes. CP5 Orchestra. .bandcamp.com. See, what I do is I invite guests on, and then I plug my own stuff.
That's what you should be doing.
Really?
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, I'm going to come and plug my stuff, but
Yeah.
we're in this together.
Okay. Let's get back to
No, this album is excellent. You should totally check it out.
Yes.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Were you worried, like, after you gave me permission to use the painting, or you like?
Oh, totally. No. I was very flattered that you wanted to. So he saw a painting of mine. And,
Yes, you tell it.
and then he asked me if he could use it as an album cover for his album coming out. And I was like, what? You want to use it? You think this is not terrible? And, you know, said sure. And, you know, go ahead and use it. And then I got to listen to the album and I was like, phew. This is good. Awesome.
Well, you actually have a part in how good it turned out, because I've told you before on many occasions. This was was it your graduation, or like what was the purpose of having a gallery show?
It was, I mean, it was like, it was a juried show just to use the space, and it wasn't specifically for graduating, but I'm glad that I'm lucky that I got to have it before graduating, and that I got to show in that space, because it was something that you had to apply for
Mhm.
to do. Unless you're talking about the graduation show.
This was one where it was like you and one other person.
Okay, yeah, no, that was the one that, yeah, we applied to do that show together.
Okay.
So, so that was, you know, my first, showing.
Yeah. This was my first showing too. Showing up for a showing, I should say.
That's so awesome.
And yeah, there was no, like, I got there really early because I tended to show up too early to stuff. So it was just me in there.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally remember that.
And I was just looking at this stuff and it's like, these are big paintings. But I came across that album cover one, and it's called Attachments. And if you go to lindawandt.com, Wandt with a D, W-A-D-D,
W-A-N-D-T.
I forgot how to spell for a second. Yeah, if you look under her, what section is it?
It should be under the miscellaneous section, I believe.
Okay.
There's 3 sections on the website, but you should look at all of the sections on the website.
Yes, you should.
But this
definitely
particular
pull it up.
painting, I think it's in the miscellaneous category because it doesn't really fall into the other 2 things.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird.
I liked it so on my side, I was working on this album and I was about maybe 60% done with it, but I really just hit a wall. And I'm just like, fuck man, I don't know where this is going, like how to bring it all together cohesively. And I was really struggling with it, and I was kind of mad because, you know, I like to make music. I don't try to take it too seriously. And like as I was trying to struggle to get this thing shaped, it's like, fuck, I hate being this artist. Like, my artist struggle, I am stuck. I don't know where the shape of my music and my creation. So I got to the gallery showing, and I had that time to just look at all the different paintings, and that was the last one that I saw. and it's kind of this, I'm not an artist, so I don't know if I call it surreal or whatever, but it's just like, it's these three figures, and their eyes are really dark, and it kind of, to me, it looked like they were burning in hell. But
it's art is subjective.
Yeah,
So
so
it's totally.
it kind of, it looked to me like, a mom and dad, and then the smaller one on the side was like a kid. And it was like, these people are burning in hell, but they're doing it together as a family.
Aww.
And that's why the album's called Our Family in Ashes.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Because of that picture. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it actually, it's an instrumental album,
Yeah.
so you can't tell. So anybody can interpret it the way that they want to. But that idea, that concept, like I would think about that painting, it really helped me. Oh, I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, this doesn't sound, I don't talk like this at all. Like, that really formed a vision, to help me make a path to get the album done. I knew what I wanted to do with it.
Yeah.
And I finished it up pretty quickly after seeing that painting. Yeah.
I am humbled. That's amazing.
It worked out. It was so fucking cool, man. And every time I listen to it or I see that picture, I think about yeah, man, how that came to pass. And there was another painting you did, Gemini. I fucking love that painting, man. That shit is so dope. I bought a little print of it from you.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could have used that one. I don't feel like I could make an album worthy of how I feel about that painting. And I don't say that about a lot of art. But it was interesting because it was really different from the stuff that you were usually doing. So I was like, wow, this is a totally different side. It fucking looks cool, man. It's dope. It's pretty fucking dope.
Thank you very much.
And so it goes on to, as time passed, 10 years had passed, my friend Rich was given the opportunity to get in on a business venture to co-own this establishment that we're recording in right now.
This lovely establishment.
And
I see it.
yes, you should have been seeing it right fucking now. But that's all right. I'm sure more important life things are going on right now. You're all fathers.
Motherfucker's dead!
It's kind of Father's Day.
Yeah. So the first time he brought me in here to show me the place, he had been mentioning on and off about this space of the wall over here was empty. And he said that there's supposed to be some art collective or something, and they were not getting in touch or things weren't working out somehow. And I was like, well, shit. My friend Linda, she does murals. She can paint she does murals. She can paint really good. She's got art in her heart.
Oh.
So I said, hey man, I can ask Linda if she'll be willing to come in. She's pretty busy with stuff, but she might do it. And you fucking did it.
I did it.
Good for you, man.
Thank you. No, thank you.
Hey,
Absolutely. That was super, super, super fun. And
Yeah.
painting big is really, really fun, and I love it. So I'm just so happy you thought of me.
Of course.
That's how proud he was. When he came to
Yeah.
that sign, he's like, this is like my baby.
Yeah.
That's why
I was proud of myself.
I owe you many a beer because.
Oh, that's why you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and also just because I never get to see you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And,
That's true.
like that. But no, but getting to do the mural here was just a really awesome opportunity to paint a really big creepy thing. There were lots of people that couldn't see it.
Yeah.
Why would I pass that up?
Yeah.
So I didn't start out with it being something creepy. We just sort of talked. This is actually one of the creepiest pieces I've done for several years. It's
Okay.
the earlier paintings that I was making.
Yeah.
When we first met, I was making some really weird stuff because I wasn't planning out the paintings too much, attachments.
Yeah.
Is a weird painting for me because I started it cold, meaning I just started with a bunch of paint
Not
and a
knowing.
canvas
Okay.
and just started smooshing around paint
Mhm.
until something happened. There was forms started to come out of it, and then I just kind of went with what was happening. So that's my deepest, darkest unconscious, disturbing.
Okay.
It gets weird in here.
Yeah.
It gets really weird in here. So for a long time, I've been focusing on realism, and and then I made a few like cute llama paintings,
Yes.
and some cute bee paintings, and those have been very important to me being able to continue painting because people buy that.
Yeah.
But it gives me time also to kind of focus on my more the art closer to my heart, which is disturbing.
You gotta get it out, man.
So I mean, that's what expression is not always,
Yeah.
it's gonna be what it's
Of course
gonna
not.
be.
Yeah.
But the mural over here, I basically, a lot of it is Rich and I were bouncing ideas back and forth.
Uh-huh.
So it is totally, born from two brains, kind of putting things back and forth. And then sort of, I just went home and I made up a drawing. I think I spent like a day making the drawing,
Uh-huh.
and was like, finished it, looked at it, and I was like, that's really disturbing. I hope they like it.
People do like it. A lot of people say it looks like a vagina, but
So I didn't see that.
people are basic like that. I didn't see it, but
I
yeah,
didn't see it either. I don't mind it because
over the course of South, maybe because alcohol is involved as well, they just walk by.
vaginas are great,
Ooh,
so
check out
whatever.
that fly pussy. Get it, fly
Is it
pussy.
proboscis?
Is that your proposed new
Is it-
name for the bar?
Proboscis.
Proboscis?
Say what?
Is that your proposed new name for the bar?
Oh,
What?
The flat pussy.
the fly pussy. Flies don't have pussies. They're born from eggs, right?
Yes.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna say no.
You're
I muted myself.
Rich was about to say something.
Quiet.
So what are you working on now?
So right now I'm working on, I just finished a piece that I'm going to put in for Victorize, and I think I can do enough photograph of it tonight. Venus flytraps and bees.
Bees,
Still bees and Venus flytraps. I'm working on some portrait paintings along the way as well, but I layer those and they take a long time to make. So I just sort of bust out some bees.
If they're meant to look good and be representations of people, why are they called portraits? Should they be called like wealth traits or
Wealth traits?
good? Because poor.
Portraits.
Yeah. It should be like best traits. Your best traits.
That's actually somewhat sensible.
Yeah. And you can't take my portrait, take my best trait. Although I've heard there are
Portrait
some-
likeness.
I've heard that like back in not ancient, but back in the day there were some historical figures that were like, no, paint me as I am, warts and all!
Yeah.
And then they see the painting and be like, have that man killed. How dare you?
There's some characters in history.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't actually just cut it off. We're keeping the painting. No, we don't put the painting.
And make a portrait of his head cut off. I'll hang that one up.
The pike.
I almost launched into a full-on character. Before it dodged it. It's okay, it's under control. We'll save him for later. Portrait King. I'm gonna write that down. Let's talk about effigies. We didn't get to talk about that last time.
Okay.
Last time we met
Yes.
was at Fun Fest.
Yes.
And you made me this shirt.
I sure did.
Shut up.
Wanted this shirt made. And I had all these little, because I was working the spray paint booth at Fun Fest.
Yes.
Through my day job. And we had all these stencils and we were letting, it was really great. We were letting,
A lot of kids having fun like with that.
I was teaching like 3-year-olds how to use spray paint.
Yeah.
Which some people might kind of be, a little questionable, but it's so much fun. There was this one kid who was smaller than that, who wasn't strong enough yet to push the spray paint button down, and I had to help her. And then her mom was like, let's just do this all together. And then after a few minutes, I was like, maybe this child is too small for the fumes you keep making. But the mom
Her young
didn't seem to have a problem with it.
developing brain.
So, I mean, there should absolutely be a time limit on that, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it was great.
It was good because, like when you go to festivals, I never really think about like children being there, so it was good for some to do for them,
Mhm.
you know, as opposed to just walking around like, what the fuck is
Oh,
going
you
on?
gotta start attacking young,
Yeah.
you know? You gotta instill the spirit of art in today's youth.
That was the same festival where episode 4, Knife Welder, if you remember the end, I got those Twinkies, that bag full of Twinkies.
Is that where those drinks come from?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
These are Fun Fest Twinkies?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
From last November. I kept them. I damn sure
But they're
didn't.
still good. It's not like they're bad.
Depends what you mean by good.
Well, I mean, they're
Still
not full of
good.
mold, I don't think.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
they're so pumped with preservatives. I don't think there's ever like.
I don't even think there's actually, I mean, it's not food.
No,
Does it need
they're
preservatives?
really bad.
Are they just made out of preservatives?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
There's a vat that says preservatives, and they just ladle it out and put it on the.
together, and then, ooh, a Twinkie is born. Twinkie. People go, yay! And then they eat and they
Oh,
go.
man, was that you?
Yes, it was. It's time to bring the fucking show out.
Ladies and gentlemen, I guess Knockman wants to join us.
I'm drunk too. Just kidding. I'm 4 years. What was it? I'm sober for 4 years now. That's it. That's it. So, how's everybody doing? Make some noise.
This isn't that kind of show, Knockman. We talked about this.
Okay. Okay.
Linda, this is my roommate, former sound engineer, Knockman.
Knockman? Hello, Knockman.
Hello, Linda.
You know, I'm really sad right now. I didn't bring my hand puppet.
Don't worry. It's nothing that with me.
Knockman.
I think she would have enjoyed meeting you. That's all I'm saying. I have a sock puppet named Laura Poppleton. Wait, what's her name? Laura Tiger Lily Poppleton III.
Jesus.
Yeah. Pretty serious.
You know what we should do? We should make birth certificates for them.
Aw, then she can get a social security number
Yeah.
and fulfill some of her dreams.
Yeah.
It's really hard for her, like
What are her
driver's
dreams?
license job.
She just wants to drive. That's her dream.
Well, I mean, her arms are made out of twisty ties and those pipe cleaners. So, I mean, I want to encourage her dreams to happen, but there's a little bit of realism at the same time. So maybe
Just let her sit in your lap and like wrap her bendies around the steering wheel so she can act like she's driving.
that's a good idea. Anyway.
Hello,
Anyway, it's good to meet you.
likewise.
He's so cute, little, so big,
Yeah.
adorable.
He's broken though, like it used to be like you could wind him up and like just make him go like, oh shit.
Oh my goodness. Is there a doctor in the house?
Sorry about that.
Knockman.
Anybody have any super glue?
Out of control, Mike.
I know.
Was he Australian?
I sound Australian?
Did you say you're out of control, mate, or did you say man?
Oh, I said Mike.
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 Okay.
I call my cow Mike. But if you're gonna call my cow Mike, it's very important to know that you must pronounce it with a Y.
Fair enough. Neat.
He doesn't talk much because when we're at the house, if he talks, that means that I'm talking to myself. So I'm not trying to encourage that behavior right now in my life. Like, I'm not gonna have a situation like it almost started, man. Like how I almost started watching to the Portrait King character. After the last episode, he played a bigger part. He talked a lot more. And when I got home, I put him back up on the shelf. I started like talking with him, and I was like, wait a minute, nope, no, this is not healthy behavior.
Well, okay, so you have the right person on your show right now, because I have a military or outside friend who's not maybe real.
Okay.
Tiger Lily.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So what I did was I have my fiance has one too.
Uh-huh. Oh God, you
Because
guys
we
use your
made
hand
them
puppets
together,
to-
we made them at like the same time there was a hand puppet thing.
You guys are hand jobbing each other with puppets.
No.
You got your puppets
That is
making out with each
indecent,
other.
sir. No.
I
But we
I
talk
just
about
put
hand
that thought in your
puppets
head now,
sometimes. Yeah, a little bit. No. That's it just brings up a lot of consent issues.
Are we talking about the molestation of hand puppets
We're
now?
talking about it. Maybe we should go back to talking about effigies.
We never even started. That's right.
Anyway, all I'm saying is that it's okay to talk to yourself, and it's okay to a degree. If you're doing it on the bus really loudly, that's a little different.
Sometimes I do like to prepare for this show. I have to kind of pretend, like run through it in my mind and kind of talk a little bit for that. But I mean, in general though, I love to fucking talk in the apartment. Like I live by myself. I fucking no problem with that.
Yeah, I understand.
That's cool. Like you just say whatever the fuck you want, you know. I crack myself up at home. And the difference is, I know that it's just me blurting out stuff in my own place, you know. You cross the line when it's like you're talking as somebody else to
Okay,
yourself.
so I mean, it's not for everybody. That's for sure. But I feel secure with myself. So you know.
Do you have to put like, is your hand puppet in a place where like if you look over at it, it's like looking right back at you like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That doesn't
We
worry
put her
you?
up in the chandelier today,
Oh yeah?
over the dining table.
Did she listen to Sia?
See that?
The song Chandeliers. Sia, she had a huge, I'm gonna swing from the chandelier, from the chandelier.
Is it pop music? Because
Yes.
she's a sock puppet, so I would assume that she really likes pop music.
Yeah, puppet pop.
Yeah,
Sock
totally.
Pop. Big
Yeah.
Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let her listen to that, man.
Okay, I'll give it a play.
So like, I almost said something completely inappropriate. Don't do it. Okay, I won't. Thank you. But yeah, effigies.
Indeed.
So I learned a lot about effigies from you because the only knowledge I had of effigies before talking with you about it was, do you remember the No Alternative album that was supposed to help with fighting AIDS? It was a compilation album by a bunch of, like, came out in the 90s. It was like Smashing Pumpkins, Pavement, the Black Crowes, Nirvana.
Right.
Yeah, they all have these. So you're familiar with it.
Matthew Sweet, a
Yeah.
bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, so there's one song on there by this band called Uncle Tupelo, and it's called Effigy. And it's like, who we burning, effigy. Why's that funny? So in history, like you would learn like, oh, we hate the prince and we hate the king, so we are burning him in effigy. And so that song was about burning effigies as well. So I always thought that it was solely, if you're burning an effigy, it's like because you hate this person, so you're just burning a likeness of them in effigy, like, burn.
Okay, that's a little different.
But you taught me there's more to effigies than just hatred.
There is, well, I mean, by the time you're done building it, you kind of hate it, but you love it at the same time. You're really excited to burn it and get it out of your life,
Yeah.
because you just spent all this time making it and you want it to go away. And there's not really anything else we can do with them, because it's not like we can like send them to the old retirement effigy park. You know? So what we do is basically we build a piece of art that has never existed before. We build a sculpture out of lumber. And it's a fairly serious construction project. We build it so that it can withstand, so it's structural, and it can stand thousands of people climbing on it or walking on it or
It's
interacting
huge.
with it in some way.
Things are fucking huge,
They're always
man.
interactive. Mm-hmm.
You fucking erect a thing that can be climbed,
Yes. Because, yes.
and then you burn that motherfucker to the ground.
so it's always something different. So it's always a different kind of challenge.
Yeah.
Because the learning curve is always there. Because it's something that's never been made before.
Yeah.
So whether it's some really complicated like miter compound cuts or different ways where you have to figure out how to make something that's 2D into 3D.
And it has to
do
be
it
structurally sound.
Yeah. So I mean, we always have very experienced people make sure, architects, people who are professionally architects, people who are professionally okay to say this is safe if we do it. And that's always the biggest concern is to build it so that it will stay up. And we're just
Even though
looking
it's
at how
getting
it
burnt down,
is.
so
We're
it's
not
such a
looking at killing
conundrum.
anybody. Yeah. So I mean, so there's that balance, but that's always the most important thing. And then all the frills come after that. But it's when we finish building it and it becomes open to the rest of the public, people come with Sharpies and they write all over it.
Oh, cool.
And they write all over it. And some people write poems, some people will write apologies, some people
touching.
write I'll miss you.
Some people
some
draw
people-
cocky balls.
Some people write funny things on it, and then some people write what they want to heal from, things they want to say goodbye to in their life, things that they want to let go of,
Yes.
burdens, things like that.
You know, it's funny because as part of the show, I was trying to think of something that I could bring to fucking burn to the ground. Like I wanted to just burn it right there, but I couldn't really think of anything cool
We could
enough.
have brought some popsicle sticks. We could have made one together.
Oh, we should. All the forethought put into this show. we're coming up with things we could have done on the show. Yeah.
Okay, next time.
Yeah, next time. Next
so,
time.
but yeah, that's what it's about. It is about recognizing the impermanence of the reality that we live in and embracing the moment and being thankful for what we have right now while we have it.
That's beautiful.
And letting go of
Yeah.
things that we don't need anymore
Yeah.
or things that, making peace with things. So that's really what it's about, is impermanence.
And it's great because it's the opposite of what I grew up thinking of effigies as like these negative
Yeah.
things, and it turns out like no, they can also be used in a beautiful, like touching, emotional way.
Yeah.
And I also like that it involves just burning the shit.
And then we burn the
Yeah,
crap
and then
out
we
of
just
it.
burn the shit out.
And then we have a really large control fire.
I don't know what it is about human nature that you have something beautiful, or you've done this thing, but there's kind of like this impulse to like want to destroy it, you know? Like I have this iPad that I pay like $30 a month through my phone provider for, and like sometimes I'll be using it, I'm like, this is such a wonderful device, like I'm able to do so much more than I ever thought I would be doing with it. I can't wait to just shatter it across the concrete. What is that impulse about?
That's our
Like,
base, we're human animals.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
definitely have the urge to create or to destroy. And I think finding healthy ways to deal with that
yeah.
makes us better.
Yeah. It's like, it just crosses my mind, like I'll be looking at it like, I'm writing my script on here, and this is working, and it's going to the cloud, and like, what would it look like just smashed? Like, what is that about? So yes, effigies, wonderful. How often do you do them? Like, the ones I've seen on your page are like fucking huge, and like you'll be doing them for like months.
They're generally 3-month projects. So
Yeah.
you spend 3 months building it, 3 days a week for 3 months, or towards the end, it's every day, whatever you need to do to get it done. Some of them are a little bit shorter. The January one is shorter, but
How did you move them? Because I saw like they're being made inside. You obviously didn't burn them in there.
No. So they get built, and then we put all the.
I
we build
prefer the
we
term
build the
erected.
pieces. We do have a large erection, definitely. There's always erection day.
Okay.
Always erection day. So they're built in pieces and then put together test build for the big erection day.
Uh-huh.
Big erection day to make sure that it's gonna fit together correctly and that it can hold weight, climb on it. And we test it with ourselves. And then we break it down into modular pieces, ship it out to the
okay.
site where we're building, and then we build it back up together again.
And then you burn that motherfucker to the ground.
Yep.
How long does it take to burn down? Do you put
Depends on
do you
how
pour shit
sturdy
on it?
it is. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. So there was a.
I would love to be at the top of, I'd love to be perched atop a monumental effigy with a fucking gallon of gasoline. Just like, the time has
It's
come.
not that dangerous.
Oh, it's not?
I mean, like the people who set it on fire
Uh-huh.
are very experienced, and
Oh,
we're not just like
that blows. You don't
throwing
get to just
gasoline
burn
on
it yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, like you guys should have like a bunch of like your own torches, and like when you stand around it in a circle, you're just like effigy, effigy, and then there's like a guy in the background, like the motivational dude, like yes, tonight it has arrived. Tonight we effigy, and you're all like effigy, effigy, and then Uncle Drew Palos in the back like who we burning.
Sounds like you need to come out with a boombox and maybe.
I want to be an
or
effigy.
something.
I want to be an effigy hype man, y'all. I've discovered my new call.
Yeah, seriously. You have this really like planned out in your head. You
No,
can-
I'm just thinking of it. That's kind of what Fantastic Tangent is. Like all of a sudden,
Well,
like
just
one
have
little
that.
idea will just like spark this whole scenario for me. So I'm seeing it now. Huge fucking effigy. Me on another effigy that's a podium that will be burnt down after the main one. And like all of you below me in a circle around the big effigy with your torches. Effigy, effigy. And I'm up there like, yes, the time is nigh. I'm going to repeat what I just said a minute ago to keep the scene going. We shall not lament. We shall not mourn. We shall burn. Effigy, effigy. Nobody's laughing. Wrap it up.
You can propose a little one and then.
Yeah, we talked about that.
You
We
can
talked about
totally
making
do
like a
that,
tiny.
and then.
Here's what it is.
Well, I guess you
Yeah.
can make one like this big and
Yeah.
then just like walk your hands off it and then
Well-
just give a speech.
Yeah, we'll make the popsicle stick one and actually get like 50 people though to circle around this tiny effigy. Just like,
There's
effigy,
one important rule.
effigy.
I just the one rule for mini popsicle effigy is know where your fire extinguisher is.
Yes, very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Just in case.
If I had a camera and all that shit, that would be a skit for me. That would be something that I would do. I'd have like just tons of people with torches and like do the whole hype effigy and like circle around them, but you never reveal until the very end. Like we've got to get
It's a little tiny thing and everyone's gonna go with that. You might even want some pitchforks. People with pitchforks.
Yeah. Effigy, effigy. All right, I think we're done with effigy talk.
Okay.
We've talked paintings. We've talked effigies. And the thing I like about the word effigy too is kind of like, fuck a G, effigy. Effigy. You know a G? F.
Right on.
No response, thank you. That's what it deserved. Fair enough, fair enough. Let's get into some bullshit. Linda.
Okay.
What were you about to say?
Oh, I wasn't. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't even remember.
Looking at the notes, what do we got here? These notes are just, you see these notes? This was like very,
There's a lot of notes you got going on.
yeah, I love to,
I know it's like a game plan.
yeah, I love to talk about my notes on this show. It's an what am I trying to say, Olive? Yes, it's a reoccurring theme of the show, looking over the notes.
They're really pretty.
These are really pretty.
I like your I like your handwriting.
Yes, I've heard that before.
This looks like a checklist or some sort of, oh, you're going through it as you're so organized.
See, the thoughts come up in my head and I write them down and then I link them to where they need to go, like to stay together.
Yeah.
This was all of the thoughts that I had for the scene that we did last show, which turned out to be what, like 8 pages. Was it like 5 minutes long? 6 minutes?
But 8 pages,
Yeah.
return to 5 minutes real time.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, that's boring. So the point was, you see all these notes, it's just like a ton of stuff. These notes just, for this one,
Yeah.
look, let's be transparent here. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do this show. I do have a couple of things planned, but for a 2-hour show, I really should have come up with more shit.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
maybe that's part of the excitement.
Yeah, that's what I was
For
talking
you
with Rich about.
and for your audience.
Yeah, it's
You
like-
don't know what's gonna happen. It could get crazy. He could just start setting things on fire.
Burn this motherfucker to the ground! F-G, F-U, Rich.
Hey.
There's something beautiful about you, like, being a sound engineer here for so many years, and then finally becoming a co-owner. It's wonderful to be here, and then to have the whole thing where Linda got a chance to do her painting.
Yay.
I want to burn the motherfucker to the ground. It's so great. I like it so much. I want to see it. I want to see it in ashes. Assembly in ashes.
Oh, that was a really good run all the way around.
Callback. I love me. Oh God, I love me some callbacks, man. Sweet, sweet callback. Ask my internet fan. He'll tell you. Callbacks are essential.